As many of you guys know, 2020, we all had this great imagination about what the year was going to be like. And, we were all waiting for that ball to drop at the end of 2019 on New Year's Eve. We're like, this is the year. This is when we're going to do all these amazing things. 2020 sounds so amazing to say. It's going to be so much fun. And little did we know, 3 months from that day, the world was going to change. We started having to completely change the way we live, and even just the way we interact with people has completely changed. And it's been crazy to live through. As many of you guys know, that face mask has been a daily norm for everybody. I know I bounce back between like New Mexico and Texas, and it's crazy just in between those two states. It's a 2-hour drive to get to either or, and each state is completely different with the rules that needs to be happening. New Mexico's 100 times stricter than Texas is, and it seems like face masks might be the fashion trend of 2020. And fashion trends go on like way back. In the 1920s we had the cute, like, that's when the little black dress got introduced into the world. The 50s, the poodle skirts were a hot topic. The 1960s, we started, getting a little shorter, a little bit more promiscuous. And the 70s, we have the disco fever style, which is really cool. And then the 80s brought these wonderful, vibrant colors, with the windbreaker style that really, really is cool to see. It's kind of interesting to see, what's gone back in time. And it seems like face masks are a new way into this world of fashion. And it's crazy to think about, because the whole purpose of a face mask is to provide protection. And, it's hard to feel cute and, be yourself and get confident when you're in your house 24/7. When you go out, people can compliment you only on your face mask, and because most people are covered with mask, gloves. I work at a Starbucks, and I literally had a customer come through my drive-through and like a full hazmat suit, and they're like, just to be safe, but I'm still gonna get that coffee you were touching. And we're just like, okay, we can do this, but I understand the importance of the protection. And face masks can go from a little cotton one like this that I bought from a store to one that's more traditional, to the actual like medical one. This one you can wash, which is pretty cool. And then there's some that I even made in the beginning of quarantine just because I couldn't find a mask anywhere and I still needed to work. And it's kind of even crazier to think, like, I started working at Starbucks 3 months ago, and I don't know what my boss's face looks like. And that like hit me hard recently. I was like, I saw her with her face mask off today because she was doing paperwork in the back, and you're allowed to take your mask off when you're on break in the back by yourself. There's hand sanitizer, wipes. You have to go, do the whole process. You get your fever check when you go into work. You get your fever check before you return back to work. It's this whole ordeal, and I completely understand the standards for it, because this virus isn't going away. I really do think it's here to stay. Like, I had this like idea, like, what if this is like the point, like, if I have kids, they might not know a life without a mask. And that like just blew my mind, because I've never had to deal with this before. And so I actually started becoming friends with one of my Starbucks employees, because I decided to wear a Disney mask that kind of like represents Starbucks in a way. It says "but first coffee," which I got lots of like little cute compliments for my job. And I never knew they were a Disney fanatic like myself, because we have to socially distance. We can't really get close to each other. I kind of know their interests, but not really. Like, we only talk on our downtime, and it's a pretty busy store, and it's hard to get to know people, create friendships, and build bonds when we're having to deal with face masks. Like, Vogue magazine and New York Times both agree that the whole idea of face masks is becoming a fashion statement. That Etsy's search engine per minute was 60,000 people would go on there and look up face mask. What cute face mask? Face masks that are approved by the health department, what kind of face masks are the best ones, because there's so many materials. You know, you have your traditional cotton, you have these nylon swimsuit kinds. They always say as long as there's 2 pieces of fabric, you're the safest. So be sure to make sure you guys are checking in for that. I also work as a seamstress in the town that I live in, and most of it's mostly special occasions, but we have brides coming in who ask like, hey, I bought extra fabric for my bridesmaids in this color, like can you make 12 face masks that goes with it, because we want to make sure we're abiding by the rules of the government, but we still want to have our celebration. We want to start going on with life and not having to worry necessarily about everything, but like putting our life on pause. We can still enjoy it, but we're gonna have to do it differently this year. And I think it's really beautiful that these people are coming off and like deciding to put this step forward, because face masks are just changing the way we live. This whole idea of the whole ordeal with the coronavirus changes the way we've lived so drastically, to the point that most of our education system is through the phone. And it took me a lot, but like I finally think I'm starting to get the hang of it, because when I first started doing these videos, I did not have lighting correct. I didn't even have an angle correct. My mic was like not working correctly. And this is what it's come to. If we were having an in-person class, you probably would see me like this and not know what my face looks like, much like most people I know today. So thank you so much for listening. Remember the importance of wearing the face mask, and try to switch it up, try to have fun with it. Might as well, it's the only thing you can show your personality off with.